So ADA's been on a downtrend for the past month or month and a half, and you can see that on this move to the downside, we ended up tapping into this range between 36 cents to 40 cents, which is the Y wave target, where I was tracking a WX Y structure. And so it's possible that now that we've tapped into this range, we could see a reversal to the upside, where the price of ADA could then breach above the local top, and that level is at 73.6 cents. And if we were to breach above this level, that would then signal that we are bullish and that the price of ADA ended up bottoming out at this level here. Now, worst case scenario, if we continue to see a move to the downside and we then breach below this level at 27.37 cents, that will then signal that we are in a bear market, and ADA and the crypto space could be trading within this low region for an extended period of time. But personally, I don't anticipate this happening, and I'm looking at for the price of ADA to bottom out within this range, and then we see that reversal to the upside. And so if I go in the daily chart, what you can see is we are within the oversold conditions, and the same can be said on the weekly chart, where again we are within the oversold conditions. So here you can see that the level sits at 0. And so the first key test for ADA will be to test the 200 EMA on the weekly chart, and that level sits at 58 cents, or the 50 EMA, and that level sits at 59 cents on the daily chart. And so even if we were to get rejected, that would still be a good sign, because what that would tell me is that the bulls have the buying power to drive the price of ADA up towards high highs. So if I drop down to the hourly chart, I mentioned in my previous update that short term, what I was looking at for was for the price of ADA to tap into this range between 43 cents to 44 cents. And this range is the Y wave target, where I was tracking an internal WXY structure. And then short after, I was looking out for a rally. Now, best case scenario, we could have saw or experienced an extended rally to form this X wave. And that X wave had the potential to tap into this range between 52 cents to 58 cents. But here you can see that we continued to get rejected at the 50 EMA, which is a similar story that's played out over and over again over the past month. And that then led to this capitulation event that took place, where we saw a move to the downside of around 18%. And so, yeah, again, now that we've tapped into this range, I will be looking out for that reversal to the upside. And so if I zoom in and check to see what's taking place over here, and it does look like what we are forming right now is a correction. So I believe we ended up breaching below this level. So it looks like what we are forming right now is a WXY structure. So if I bring in the fib tool and bring this up to 41.32 cents, so short term, ADA has the potential to tap into this range between 38.84 cents to 39.32 cents, and then short lefter, I will be looking at for a reversal. And so it's possible that we could even retest the 50 EMA, which is going to be key in determining if whether or not we are bullish or bearish. So if the price of ADA was to extend beyond this 50 EMA, that would be a good sign. However, if we were to get rejected, what we could see is another capitulation event that takes place where we see another move to the downside. And so what we need really is for the price of ADA to not exceed this region at 36 cents. If we do so, again, that will be a bearish signal, and it's possible that we could continue to see a deep move to the downside where we then breach below this level. But again, personally, I don't anticipate this happening. Let's see if I remove this and check to see what would be the worst case scenario if we were to breach below this level here. So if I drop down to the 5-minute chart, and yeah, it is choppy. So what I will be looking at for really is for another WXY structure like so, where this Y wave could then retest the 50 EMA on the hourly chart. And if I go back to the hourly chart, what you can see is the bears are slowly starting to lose the momentum. And so I am looking out for this final push to the downside where we then tap into this range, and a short left, we then see a reversal. What happens next, only time will tell really. But of course, this is something I'm going to be tracking in the days and weeks to come, and I'll keep you guys updated. And so, yeah, that's just my update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit the like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.